Today we'll have a press event at the DOT like yesterday that will give a full update on the construction side of things, as well as the other alternatives that we're working on. I can tell you that we did have a municipal call again this morning at 7:30, 7:45. We're going to have Ernie Almonte and maybe a couple mayors at the meeting today, because we think it's important that you hear from them, not only, and then the people in the state of Rhode Island need to know that their municipal leaders are all in on this as well. So thank you, Chief. Thank you, Mayor. It was a good tour, and that's pretty much what we saw. And what we saw today was, once you got to the bridge in East Providence, that's moving it to Providence side, we timed it. It was about 5 minutes to get over there, and we're going to continue to try to make sure that that time frame that people are being delayed, it gets reduced and reduced and reduced, and all reports say that that's happening as we speak right now, and we'll get to more detail to that on 12:30.
We can take a couple questions.
Governor, you mentioned, and Mayor, you mentioned all of the work that's being done by DPW and police, all the, I presume, overtime that's being racked up by your city and all the other cities in the area that might be affected. Governor, can you commit to helping financially? Right,
yeah, we've already
cities and towns.
We've already done that. We're going to just roll the extra cost that the communities are having over and above their normal operations into the project, the cost of the construction project.
Governor, Governor. Sorry, can you just clarify? So it's going to be paid for by the construction? Isn't that federally funded? Has Federal Highway signed off on that? Are they paying?
We'll make sure that
the OC for East Providence Police?
This is part of the construction cost, right? This is part of the effort. Anything that is materially that happens because of a direct of the construction, we consider that part of the project. But the point is that the municipalities are going to be held harmless on things that are over and above what their normal operations are during this period of time.
Governor, in Pennsylvania, when they had that bridge collapse, they were able to build a temporary bridge in less than 2 weeks. So why is it taking 2 to 3 weeks just to turn some of the eastbound lanes into westbound lanes? Are crews working around the clock on that?
The director will speak to that again today if you ask, but I thought he answered it very well. I did talk to the governor in Pennsylvania, got kind of an update of what's going on. It's not an apples to apples comparison that you're making there. So I'll let the director clarify that.
But also in Pennsylvania, the day after that, the governor issued a disaster declaration. Why aren't you issuing one yet? Won't that help with funding?
I talked to Governor Shapiro yesterday. We got a copy of his executive order. In that way, we're comparing it. It's not apples to apples. Just understand that. What's happened in Pennsylvania and what happened here in Rhode Island are two different circumstances, and we're following every lead to make sure that whatever outside resources we can bring in to this project, we're going to do that. Just like I've done on virtually every other project. I mentioned the snowstorm yesterday. It's relevant. Mm-hmm. It was an emergency. We made sure that we declared that emergency, and we recovered over $12 million back into the municipalities for that work. So I will not let any dollar that could be available to help and assist the state of Rhode Island from any direction go on, that we will not pursue.
But even after the harbor...
For the chief, if I may, Chief, what are the differences you're seeing between yesterday and today? Do you have more personnel out on the streets, more traffic control? What's changed?
I think it's a combination. Yesterday, it was significantly worse than today. We've, over the past 48 hours, consistently tweaked our deployment plan. I think that's helped. We've learned a lot over the last 24 hours. We've restricted vehicles from using the side streets, which was really causing choke points on the main thoroughfares. I think people are adjusting. I think people are learning. I think they're taking different routes. It's an hourly process where we're constantly evaluating our deployment, and we're getting better.
How worried are you about some fire or something breaking out that fire crews, police can't get to?
So obviously that's a concern. We have our people deployed throughout the city. So if something comes in, we're not in a central location. We have people spread throughout that can respond.
All right,
And
we
Mayor,
have
yesterday
one last question. Steve, and then over to 12, and we have to wrap.
Mayor, yesterday you said that you were going to be reimbursed for the cost. I think you said 15 traffic details. I mean, are you satisfied with how this is playing out?
Yes, Governor, we spoke about this yesterday. Immediately put a plan into action where DOT will be absorbing the cost of any overtime, extra overtime deployments that we need to deal with for traffic control.
Yeah, we're going to make sure that, as I started at the top of my points, you have two issues here. One that is a local issue in East Providence that is above and beyond anything else we're seeing in any other community. So we're going to make sure we pay special attention to that. You got to remember, I was a mayor, and I understand exactly what the chief is going through and the mayor here is going through. So I put my mayor's hat on. That's why we're physically here today to show support to the mayor and then the people of East Providence. And then we have a global issue here that's more of a statewide, impacting people that are that are driving into the Providence area, coming from out of state, and we'll get into a lot of details about what we're doing and the logistics over the last 24 hours. We plan to have a press event at the DOT every day until we get some sort of resolution to the issues. But today it's about, at the moment it's about East Providence, and we're going to make sure that the mayor gets what he needs to accommodate the residents that live in this great city that we got here in East Providence.
All right, last question right over here.
One of the impacts we saw, Bayview going to break early due to the traffic. How are, communities dealing with the lingering impacts?
Well, I think everything that happened today contributed to what you see happening today with moving traffic, flowing traffic. Yesterday, traffic throughout the city was gridlocked. You weren't moving for 45 minutes straight in one location. But today, people are getting the message. School is doing distance learning today, but we're going to sit down with the superintendent and see whether or not we don't get them back to school tomorrow. I think that's the right move. After we saw what happened here today with the traffic flow and how people are adjusting their traffic behaviors, we strongly want to urge our school committee and superintendent to bring kids back to school tomorrow.
Thank you guys, appreciate it.
Changes on the Pell Bridge, any changes either post
We'll get to
Need you
that.
for the
We'll get to that
microphone.
this
Yeah,
afternoon.
we'll get that at 1 o'clock.
We have everybody in the
There's
room.
not enough. I can't give you an update right now, and I'm not going to give you one. That's something that is a work in progress, and we'll address that the best we can at 12:30.
Yep, 12:30. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor.
Thanks, Mayor. Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.